You ever been there? You think you know someone. You really do. And then bam, they show their true colors and it's just not what you signed up for. It's a painful, really common experience, right? Well, that's what we're diving into. We're going to talk about how to stop being fooled by the show people put on and how to start seeing who they really are.
Look, the truth is, we live in a world where just about everyone is putting on a performance. People polish up their stories, they choose their words so carefully, they wear these masks to impress people, to get what they want, or just to protect themselves. And if you're only listening to what they say, you're pretty much guaranteed to get it wrong. Words are cheap, and they can be rehearsed.
So, that's the big question, isn't it? If you can't always trust words, what's left? What are you supposed to do? Well, it turns out we actually have everything we need to see the truth. We just have to learn where to point our focus.
Okay, let's get into it. And what's so interesting about this approach is that it's not about learning some secret body language trick or memorizing interrogation techniques. It's much deeper. It's about a fundamental shift in how you see everything. Here's how to think about it. You've got your simple tricks, right? Noticing if someone blinks a lot or touches their face. And sure, that gives you some surface-level data. But then you have the profound method. This is all about self-awareness, patient observation, and that gets you to the real truth of who someone is. Honestly, one is a fun little party trick, the other is a genuine life skill.
And here is the absolute key, the part we so often miss. The biggest thing stopping us from seeing other people clearly, it isn't actually their mask. It's our own lens. We are all looking at the world through our own personal filter. And a lot of the time, that filter is, well, it's pretty distorted. And that brings us to our very first and maybe the most important idea, the mirror. You see, if you want to read the world accurately, you have to start by reading yourself. The whole journey really starts right there.
So how exactly do we mess up our own vision? Well, it happens in a few key ways. Things like old traumas we haven't dealt with, or the parts of ourselves we just don't like to admit exist. And a huge one, unmet needs. We project all of this onto other people. We're not actually seeing them. We're seeing the savior we wish would rescue us, or the perfect parent we never had. And that projection completely blinds us to who they really are.
And this quote just hits it perfectly. When we deny our own complicated feelings, our own anger, our own needs, we literally can't see those same complexities in other people. We end up seeing them as flat, like cardboard cutouts, not the messy, three-dimensional humans they actually are.
So really, this is the foundation for everything else we're going to talk about. Knowing yourself isn't just some fluffy, therapeutic idea. It is a straight-up, practical tool for seeing the world clearly. If you want to see if someone else is being honest, you have to start by being honest with yourself. Period. Okay, so once you've done that tough internal work, once you've polished your own mirror and you can see yourself clearly, then you can turn your focus outward. And this brings us to the lens. Now that your inner world is clear, you can actually observe the outer world effectively. And the whole trick here is to shift your focus. Stop listening so much to what's being said and start watching what's being done. And this is such a critical distinction. Words, they're cheap, they're adaptive. A lot of the time, they're just emotional noise. I mean, anyone can memorize a really convincing apology, right? But patterns of behavior? Oh, patterns don't lie. They show you a person's default settings, who they are when they're not trying. A truly perceptive person will trust a consistent pattern over a convincing speech every single time. Think about it. Time is your best friend here. It's your most powerful tool. Why? Because keeping up a mask, putting on a performance, takes a ton of energy. And over time, that energy just runs out. Anybody can be super charming for a day or a week, but can they keep it up for months when it's not who they really are? No way. This is why patience is a strategy. You just have to sit back and let time reveal the real story. Okay, now here's a classic, but it's a classic for a reason. It's one of the clearest tests of character there is. Don't just watch how someone treats you or their boss or people they want to impress. No. Watch how they treat the people they think don't matter. The server at a restaurant, the person cleaning the office, someone in a junior position. That's when the mask really slips, and you see what's underneath. And this quote just nails it. A person who is kind to you but rude to the waiter isn't a kind person. They're a calculating person. See, if kindness only shows up when it's beneficial, it's not real kindness. It's a tactic. True character is consistent. It doesn't just switch on and off depending on who's watching. All right, here's a really powerful technique you can use. It's all about silence. See, most people are comfortable in a conversation as long as you're playing your part, reacting the way they expect.
But what happens when you just stop? You withdraw your reaction, you stay quiet, and you create this empty space. It creates this subtle pressure, and you just watch how they try to fill it. Do they get anxious? Irritated? Do they start talking nervously? How they handle that silence tells you so much about their insecurities and their need for control.
And this next one, this is almost like a verbal superpower. It's the tell me more technique. Instead of arguing or jumping in with your own opinion, you just lean back, create a safe space, and calmly ask them to elaborate. When people feel like they're actually being heard and they don't have to put their guard up, you would be amazed at what they reveal. They'll often tell you way more than they ever planned to. It's just 3 simple words. Tell me more. But they're so powerful. They force you to get out of your own head, to put your ego aside and just listen. And when you do that, it's like people hand you a roadmap to their entire inner world. You'll learn their real motivations, their hidden fears, and they won't even realize they're telling you.
And finally, a huge one. Pay very close attention to what triggers people. You know those big emotional reactions? Sudden anger, intense defensiveness, a flash of jealousy? These are not random. These are signposts. They point directly to what that person truly values or fears. It could be their ego, their reputation, a deep insecurity. Whatever it is, strong emotion is where the truth leaks out.
Okay, so let's say you've done all this. You've cleaned your mirror. You're using your lens. You're starting to see the patterns. You get what makes people tick. The big question is, now what? What do you do with that information? And that brings us to the final and maybe the most advanced piece of the puzzle, the power of restraint.
And this is a really, really important point. Just because you see someone clearly doesn't mean you have to do anything about it. It's not a command to go confront them or try to fix them or call them out. Honestly, that usually just sucks you right into their drama. No, clarity isn't a call to action. It's a call to choice. It gives you the power to make better choices for yourself.
This quote really gets to the heart of it all. Observation without reaction is freedom. The real power, the real endgame, isn't just about seeing what's true. It's about being able to see it, to know it, and not get pulled into the chaos. It's about protecting your own peace.
Because this is what all that clarity gives you in the end. It's not about gaining control over other people. It's about gaining sovereignty over yourself. It's the freedom to choose to step back, the ability to set a boundary without a big dramatic fight. It's the power to walk away from a situation and not need them to give you closure, because you already see it all for what it is. So, in the end, it really all boils down to this one simple idea. People are showing you who they are, every single day, in their patterns, in their gut reactions, in how they treat the people around them. The information is always there, it's always flowing. The only real question is, are you finally ready to watch?